producer to get us started. What's up? What's up? What's up? See, I like giving y'all a couple seconds to see me on and start chiming in and start flowing through. It's Thursday night. You already know what time it is. What time it is. I would have thought I was looking fine all day. I'm always fine, but I'm finer when it comes to these calls, right, babe? When it comes to some of these calls. And y'all see my mouth is a little better. My tooth was out. Look, I got my number one on the line already, chiming in. I know you want to get on this call tonight because you want to get on our ladies' night. And I know tonight's topic is on and popping. So, ladies, wives, nosy husbands in the building. What's up? What's up? Where y'all in? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I'm waiting for my background real quick. Oh, hey, why you gotta put the Spanish music on? Cardi, you can't put no gangsta?
What's the title?
I like dollars, not sex.
I like it.
Oh, you like it like that? That's how you like it? Okay. So, Brandon and Omar, y'all going for the husbands, I guess, tonight. Let me see. This might be too bright still. I'm not feeling like I'm looking like it's 6 in the morning. I don't own the rights to this music. We do not own the rights to the music. Put it in the chat. Put it on here. Brandon Crumb, you about to give me my margarita? Something, because he is turned up. He don't even get the PG version. Hey, y'all see the shirt? Look, get out. Oh, am I talking about team husbands? Get out of here. Hey, can you get your wife on the line? Can we please? I don't even have her on Instagram for her to watch us. Tag her, something. I need my wife's on. Where my squad's at? Hold up. Let me see where my people's at. Where my people's at? I'm gonna see. I got a couple ladies I could get on tonight. I don't own the rights to this music. I do not own the rights to this music. I don't own the rights to this music. Let's go. Gang. Babe, I'm really serious about my drink though. Since I'm not really like, after today, it's just, better eating. Wow, the wine wasn't pretty bad actually.
The wine?
Yeah, because it got me feeling nice really quick. So, wait, I need the remote though. So I can lower so I can get it started. So let's get it started. I'm hoping. Hold up. Where y'all from? We in the A. We're in the A. Georgia in the building. I've been here for about 14, 13 years now. Getting a couple ladies on the squad to hop on the call. But listen. You see the title? You already know I like to spice it up. Who knows I like to spice it up? Talk to me. Who knows I like to spice it up? You know me. If y'all know me, y'all know one of my nicknames is Evangelist Spicy. Given by yours truly, my homegirl Miss Renee in the building. So we're gonna jump right to it. I was seeing if my one of my squad friends could get in. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this show on the road. Get more female vibes, get them on here. So, when y'all see this topic, ladies, what do you guys think about? Like, what do you guys think about when you see this topic? Tell me. Hey, what's up? I got family in the building watching. Hola. What's up? How are you? How's the family? How's everybody doing? I said I like it like that. How you like it? I said I like it like that. Alright, that's it. Let me get on. Let me get it in. Hold up. I need to get some more of my married friends on here. What's going on? I need some more of my married. First of all, I need some of y'all to start getting married. Y'all been single since 1999. but the others have side boos since 1999. So I'm gonna need some of y'all to start getting married, or, you know, find the one, something. You know what I mean? But listen, that's it. I'm done. I'm not putting nobody else. Nobody else. Remember, if I talk funny, it's because my wisdom teeth 3 were pulled recently. So that's one of the reasons why I might be sounding a little funny. But besides that, let's get it. Let's go. Alright, I think that was it. Anybody else that chimes in, they're chiming in. So listen, marriage and sex. Let's get right to it. If I get one of my homegirls to chime in, they chiming in. If not, Omar, if you still in the building, I would love for maybe the husband perspective tonight. Maybe the husband perspective. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Instagram you're on, but whichever one you're on, if it's the marriage one, if you can switch over to maybe like the Facebook, so I can the Instagram, so I can reshare it. My Instagram. I think you're on the marriage Instagram, marriage porn. So listen, go check out our Instagram, marriage porn, acronym P.O.R.N. I see it right here. We got our shirts ready, on and popping. They about to be on the merch site. So marriage and sex. Listen, wives, let's get to it. I wanted to kind of see, like, okay, what are we going to talk about tonight? Because I'm like, okay, the topics are getting slim shady. I need some more wives to start messaging me on some topics, some comments, some concerns, some ideas. Because I'm like, I don't want to be sitting here with the same blah, blah, blah topic, right? So I went on to one of our marriage, I guess, other page. And I'm like, let me look through some marriage couples posts and things like that. And one of the ladies, she is hilarious, and her husband, they do ministry as well. And they were talking about wives and sex. And I'm like, oh, who doesn't like talking about wives and sex, right? Like, who does not? So, they got into it deep though. Like, when I tell you guys, we're not just gonna sit here and talk about like just the average, oh, are you giving him some conversation? Ladies, wives, I want to get like real deep. Like, I want to get a little bit, get it, real deep. Ew. So no, but I do want to get like for real serious, wives, because one of the biggest problems in marriages that I was able to do some research and look it up, one of the top 5, one of them might be even the first, is sexual intimacy. Okay? Sexual intimacy. It's a problem. Like, marriages fail. Marriages go through adultery. Marriages actually even divorce because of this problem. I got my queen in the building. There she go. I might need you to chime in, queen. You know, get it ready. Give me about 10 minutes. I'm gonna chime you in, queen. So it's a big deal. It's a big factor, guys, on the matter of the importance, the value of sex and marriage. We're not just saying, oh, are you giving him some once a week? Or are you giving him once a month? We're talking about the real deal, the value, the importance, the priority of sex and marriage, sex and being a wife, especially. I know some wives, they'll tell you straight up, like, it's my duty to handle my husband. And I agree. And, you know, one of the things that they got straight to it on this live, on this chat, that women were asking, and if you guys, and you know, wives, if you have questions as we're going, throw them in the chat. Anything. You know me. Remember, I want your wives to remember when I had the final, like one of the early conversations with God about this at the beginning of the year. One of the words he said to me, and I heard it loud and clear, was bold. Some of y'all know my story, some of you don't. Bold. B-O-L-D. He said to me, Jen, Be bold. You and your marriage, bold. You and Brandon, bold. Bald, right? Bold, right? Be bold in this conversation. Be bold in what you're talking about with the wives, with the husbands, with the marriages. Be bold. Bold is a deep word, right? And when I saw these questions, I said, oh man, I'm gonna have a word tonight when it comes to these wives. So ladies, get on. And even if you're not married and you're chiming in, as a woman, if you do have a boyfriend or fiance, a spouse, and you have questions, bring it in. There's questions of how important it is, how valuable is it. What if you don't like it? What if you guys are having a rough time? Like, there's so many different problems that are not being discussed with us women. So one of the things that they talked about, which was one of the comments, questions, whatever, it was the thoughts on grooming. Thoughts on grooming. Wives, queen, what are your thoughts on grooming? We're talking about you. We're talking about your husband. What is your thoughts on the grooming part? Do you like it for him to be groomed? Do you not? Do you don't care? Do you want to be groomed? Should you be groomed? Does he like you being groomed? What is it? Is it like, oh, we bald and popping? Oh, he made this sucker juicy. He wants this thing bald and popping today, don't he? Y'all see this? Cling, cling, cling. Cheers. This is like, I'm in like Dominican Republic already when we got married. Girl, child. Might need to cut y'all short tonight. No, but anyways. So, thoughts on grooming. Does he like you being groomed? One of the comments was that this one of the wives, they don't like it because they felt like it was like nasty or gross or pedophile-ish. Now, one thing I'm going to say is, if that's only what he likes and that's what gets him going, then, maybe have a little bit deeper conversation. If it's like not like that, they're like, no, we're good. It might be a little bit deeper than that. Now, but if it's like every now and then, like it turns them on more, it's a very sexual thing, then of course, like that's what they prefer. Kind of like us wives. Just because I prefer him being a certain shade or not doesn't mean that I'm like some nasty person. But we got to be careful because for men, you guys know there is the real pedophile deal with older men liking like little kids. So we do got to be careful with that. We do got to be careful, make sure there's no trauma there, right? That sucker is strong, boy. So what do y'all feel about it? Yours, his? Do y'all do styles? Do y'all trim it up, shape it up? We're going to get real with it. And listen, ladies, wives. I remember my husband said this on the men's call one night. He said he does to himself what he knows. No, what I know he would want to do to me. What he would want to me. So basically, Brandon knows I don't like no messy situations, raggedy, not smelling good, looking good. You know what I'm saying? All that because I'm not being down there if it's a problem. So he knows this. So it's always fresh to, to part. Because if not, then we like, nah, boo. Ain't nobody got time for that. Right. What we both like. So he knows, okay, she don't like A, B, or C. So let me handle A, B, or C. The same way he don't like certain things. I'm not going to just show up one night looking like Bush the Clown. Knowing that he's like, trying to find his way around. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Because he's like, what are you talking about? He'll be like, that's not even cute. Like, you don't even look, it's not even sexy. Like, what are you doing? And then, I'm messing up my game. Because then now he's going to try to go to a different destination. And it's like, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted. Like, what happened to what, like, you was going somewhere else with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so grooming, is that a big deal for y'all? Wives. And also remember, ladies, just because, let's say you're the type of wife that you're like, Nah, I'm not shaving. I don't like it. It's not cute. It's not my thing. I'm gonna let it just afro out or do this or whatever, right? And you don't even care about what your spouse thinks. You don't care that your husband's getting turned off. Like, now it's like you're being selfish. It's not fair that you're just like, whatever, take it. And you're not really taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, let's make it a little bit more pleasing. Let's, remember, our whole goal in the sexual intimacy bed is becoming one, bringing our bodies and spirits together, and both being attracted and engaged, involved in one another. You wouldn't like it if he didn't fix himself up for you and you're not into it. Now you're not going to finish because you're not into him because he didn't fix himself up. And it's like, just finish, go ahead, put it in, whatever. No. So, let's make sure we good wives. Let's make sure we're taking care of ourselves and make sure we smelling good, looking good, freshened up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be that nasty wife that you taking showers three times 3 days later or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we gotta put him on. We still don't. We need his number and stuff. We gotta connect with him. With the dude Nate, babe. He's about to get married, so Omar said we gotta put him on game. Put him on some game. So then the next part. This one is juicy. Juicy. I see I got my lip gloss for this one. This one we are gonna discuss. Number 2 is orgasms and vibrators or toys or whatever. Y'all, you like this conversation, babe? Brenda's like, this is juicy. Whatever y'all want to call it. Toys. Y'all got a name. Like for the other thing, however y'all want to call it. What do y'all feel about that? Like, I know one of the questions was, is it sinful to have toys in the bedroom? And I thought that was a really good question because there are people out there that believe it is. Some, they don't. I don't believe it is unless your spouse doesn't know and you're like being sneaky and now it's becoming like the idol of the sexual moment situation. If he's there or if he's not there. Now it's a struggle because it's like you choosing, like, am I doing Brandon or am I doing him? Like, which one am I going to do tonight? Now that's a problem. Now, if you're bringing it in the bed, both of y'all, ladies, and and I found this very interesting that, and now that I thought about it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. I found it very interesting to know, done my research, that men actually tend to have orgasms first. So that makes sense. I was like, oh, okay, I don't feel too bad now. I did my job. You know what I'm saying? And it says that it takes longer for the women to have their orgasm, right? And the interesting part is, and this is like this whole research that was done. I was like, oh, this is interesting. It says that most of the time the women have orgasms when they're on top. And I was like, oh, it's making more and more sense. Right? This is all research, guys. Like, for real. So then, I didn't know about this. Y'all gonna think this is funny. And you probably knew and investigated more than me. We as wives, as women, we have certain parts one certain part on our body that the man does not have, an organ that God made and gave for us women to have. And that one organ is a sexual organ for us to be intentionally pleased by this organ. Did you know that, babe? Huh? I didn't know this part. So, and and it's the clitoris, if that's what y'all want to know, which part. Okay, Google it, look it up. That's the point. So that's why it's, I guess, a whole situation of why we take longer, why we need to get maybe pleased more, why, you might be like, this dude has been like faster seconds, minutes.
Y'all having multiple.
and you're done, and I'm still trying to just have one, or why we don't have like 13 like they do. You know, they, 3-4 orgasms back to back, and you just like, I'm still waiting for my first. Like, what's happening? But then tell me if I'm wrong, wives. Then once he does find or establishes or discovers that organ, it's game over. Like, I want to throw this pen. Like, mic drop, game over. He's about to go to work because he found that spot. Y'all know what I'm talking about, wives. Yeah, don't act like you guys don't know. And this is the thing that I want to discuss.
That's why they married.
That's why y'all married, because he found that spot from the beginning and got it popping. But this is what I love about the way God spoke to me and Brandon, is because who is going to get on live and tell y'all wives certain this scenarios, no scenarios, certain helpful things that are not common to discuss? Because who really sits here and talks about, hey, are we all going to talk about orgasms for the night? Like, that's what we doing? People are too scared. They're too ashamed, which I don't understand. I don't understand. How is it shameful or ashamed or embarrassing to have these type of discussions when you're married? I never understood this. I never understood how we can't talk about sex, orgasms, oral sex, emotional, spiritual, like how we can't discuss this, but we're married. Like in the books, it says in the, Song of Psalms, it talks about the lust, the kisses, it goes deep into sexual intimacy. But we can't talk about it in marriage. But this is the funny part. But then you go on YouTube and you see all these females being, in the streets, starting around, if you really want to get technical, half naked, and everybody's cool with them bouncing all over the place. But yeah, I can't talk about orgasms with my husband? I found that so, like, stereotypical. I don't understand. I never understood that. Like, we see all these naked men and women doing all this crazy stuff, and it's cool. But as soon as you see a husband and wife bouncing it or something, y'all want to run your mouth, and it's not good. I can't believe it. Oh, my gosh, she's a sinful Christian. And it's like, what are y'all doing? This is my husband. It says in the Bible, and the lady talked about it tonight. Sex between you and your spouse should be the most freedom place in the bedroom ever possible. Free. Like, bam. As long as you're not bringing in people and images, your game is on. Like, popping. We got the gloves. We about to do fight night. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole shebang. That's those young boys. I'm not about that life anymore. My blood pressure can't handle 14. Why do I even read what this dude says? Oh, am I talking about? That's the young life. His blood pressure can't handle nothing 14 times. OMG. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Like you said, like you're saying, because you older, does that mean you only having 1 or 2 orgasms? Or, like, is that what that means? Like, because you young, you can have 4 or 5 back to back and we still rolling? Because I didn't know age was a situation. Because if you are older and you're working out, or your stamina is good, I think you should be able to keep it going. I don't know. Tell me if there's men on here, because I know there are. I see some chiming on. Tell me about this orgasm situation, and we can talk about it. We adults. Why would we be scared? But then you want to watch porn later tonight. Like, I don't understand this. So that's one of the conversations they talked about. Then, I put on here, we got to make it fun, right? It shouldn't be a struggle. If it's a struggle to make it fun with your spouse in the room or wherever y'all do this situation at, there's a problem. Like, wives, like, make sure that you're allowing your husband to speak in the bedroom. Make sure you're allowing your husband to express himself. Like, don't force something upon him. Like, I was that person. I used to be, like, demanding on a couple of things. And my husband's like, yo, I'm not feeling that. Like, I don't even want to do that. That's unattractive. Like, I'm not even hard no more. Like, what are you doing? Like, let's just be real. What are we doing? So I had to learn that nowhere in the Bible it says that we have to require our husbands to do something in the bedroom. We don't. Well, we don't. You know, the intimacy is there, of course. You know, the intercourse and all that. But anything around that you're adding on, that you're spicing on and all that, it's not required. It's really not. It just says, husbands, please and you know, please your wives, and wives honor your husband. There is a chapter. I don't have it right now, but there is a chapter for my wives on here that it does say in the Bible that it says your husband should please you and should not withhold sex from you. I know it because I've said it to my husband. I've looked it up because he tries to be funny sometimes, and I'm like, let's see what God would say about that. And I literally sometimes go to the Bible. You know, y'all know the back, it has words. You could just look up a word, and then it says what number page in the Bible it talks about that. Yeah, I bet y'all know about that. It's called the index. Thanks, babe. Bet y'all didn't know about that. The Bible has that. And if you can't do that, because I don't know why, you can go to Google, because Google's our best friends, ladies. Go to Google and just type in sex in the Bible. Withholding from wife Bible. Something. It'll pop up. And I used it. I did. You know what? That's probably not the right thing to do. Wives, probably not the nicest. It's probably not very godly friendly. But I did it. And it was great that I did, because there was a time that, you know, Brandon would be like, oh, I'm not going to give you none. And I'm like, excuse me. The devil will come into our house and our marriage if you withhold sex. So give me that. Okay, wives? So you can use it every now and then, right? But we don't do that no more, because now we understand the value and the importance of having a sexual intimacy relationship. So tell me, I'm seeing, you know, there's some husbands on here tonight. You know, y'all could chime in. You know, don't be scared. How do y'all feel about, we're talking about marriage and sex and, you know, orgasms and, you know, toys. We're talking about the grooming. And then, of course, don't forget, while we're going over this, go check us out on the YouTube. We have it on our page. You know, direct.me/Barker Worldwide. Go to our page. Like, for real. Go to our page. Click on the YouTube. Click on the Instagram. We're having programs. We're talking about books. We're really into progression and a transition in this business that we have right now. We have our shirts. You know, we're getting more products. So really, really, guys, focus, because y'all watching, y'all see our lives. Y'all on here. You know, what's up? Y'all on here. Go over there. You know, share, like, subscribe. Do whatever y'all got to do, you know. We want to make sure we're uplifting and empowering other marriages. The name of our next program is called Marriage Empowerment. That's the main reason. We want to talk about these things. This is just the basics of orgasms and vibrators. There is intense more conversations in regards to this. Like, people have gotten divorced because of these topics. Okay, marriages have failed because this was not discussed how I'm discussing it. Like, yo, you need to talk to your husband, wives. He not having an orgasm and you just not doing nothing about it? You just not talking to him? Or you're not? Listen, thank you, babe. My producer is the bomb, right? He's fire. Y'all get your producer that's fine, fire, and handles the business, right? But anyways, listen, I know this one. We had a story. I'm just going to say we had a story that this person, she was with her mate, because we're talking to the wives. She was with her mate for years, and like never orgasms. Like, wasn't ever, like, not. I hope it wasn't the whole time. I hope it was just like maybe every couple of months or something. I don't know. But not like it didn't occur. Eventually, they ended up separating. They ended up, I think, were they married? I'm not sure. They were married, not being together, divorced, whatever. She was able to meet and date another person, and bam, orgasms was popping. Like, boom, boom, like fireworks, just going off. It was a comeback. That's what it was. It was a comeback from all them years that was not happening, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Like, orgasms are natural. They're normal. Like, it should be happening between you and your spouse. If you're not, talk to your spouse. And one of the things the ladies were saying is that the good thing is that you can communicate with your spouse, ladies. And I know one of the comments, she said, if you know you're the one that's having difficulties with this and he's not, then maybe when you guys get into your mood, you should be the one getting worked on first. Like, you should be the one getting the role play, the pleasure, the kisses, or whatever you like. The foreplay, whatever you get into, the foreplay. But first, so then it can start building that up as it goes, versus vice versa. And then he's done and you're like, I'm just getting started.
Or he's too anxious.
You know, or he might be anxious and he just, you know, what's that song? What was it? Was it 50 Cent? 3 minute, 2 minute. Somebody did a song. Minute Man. Well, how does it go?
Whatever.
Look it up. Minute Man, right? Look it up, babe, for real. I'm gonna put it out there. So, and then she even mentioned, like, letting your husband just have fun with you. Like, literally, if you know, of course, communicate, wives, you know, talk, hey man, hey babe. See, if you guys, like, wives, if you like me, you would absolutely just be like, hey babe, I'm not even having enough. Like, we need to get this handled. I'm not coming. Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm just like, bam, right? I know Brandon be like, she's just crazy. But that's what we got to do. Because this is your spouse. This is your, I talked about this, wives. When it comes to your best friend, you should be able to talk to him. Anyway, like, you talk to your homegirl, like, girl, he didn't make me nut the whole time. Like, y'all be going in with y'all girlfriends. But then won't talk to your husband. And then you don't want, and you miserable in the bed. Meanwhile, he done had like 13 babies already, you know. Well, you know, inside of you or whatever. However y'all want to picture that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you still like, oh, this is whack. Like, he don't do this. He don't please me. And you not saying anything. Because he's living his best life. And then, of course, husbands, you know, if y'all on here, because I know y'all like to listen and be nosy. If y'all know you know your wife is having an issue, you know, talk to her, communicate with her. Like, you know what? Like me, I'm the playground for the day. This is the scenario. I'm gonna be here. What do we need? Because we could bring stuff in the room now, as long as it's not people and images. Remember, it's game after that. Like, you got food, you got toys, you got freaking sauces, you got some like margaritas. Like, you could, you know, like.
Aphrodisiacs.
What is that? Aphrodisiacs, whatever that is. You know, it's in our page. We actually have a whole stuff of it Brandon did that gets you going. And then the lady was even commenting, which I thought was, well, we already do this. For especially wives, if you take longer to have the orgasm part. Wives, you start the day. Like in the morning. Start in the morning. Boom. Tonight's the night. I'm about to get it. He's about to handle business. Let me set him up. Like, what does that mean? Start messaging. Hey, sexy. You know, the foreplay. You might have to get an old pig booty. You know, booty pig. Send it to him. Something. I don't know. Call him and say some stuff. Some blah, blah, blah. Now, one rule I will say. Hey, cousin. One rule I will say, ladies, is don't get them too anxious, though. Don't get them too anxious. Because if we say too much, it's game over.
Over before it begins.
Over before, like, what movie was it? American Pie. Was it American Pie? When he was like, wasn't he the virgin? And the girl got on top of him, and he just had an orgasm before his pants even came off. I think that's what it was, right? That's how it be, right? That's how it can be. Because if you do too much foreplay, you over here doing the booty pig, the nipple, you know what I'm saying, doing all that. He comes home and is like, it's already ready, right? You gotta know what I mean. Boom, boom, knock, knock. And one insert, it's a wrap. It's a wrap because you done set him up way too much. Meanwhile, he ain't even start with you because he's so anxious. So you gotta make sure you're keeping it cool. You know, wives, y'all already, come on, man. I shouldn't be giving y'all this too much play. Too much play. You know, it's too much. Cheers. Cheers, cousin. This sucker's strong too, Brandon. So,
Slip.
slippy. So, what else? Then we get into, so the toys. How do y'all feel about toys, though? How do y'all feel about the toys part? For any of the wives that are on, or for some of the husbands chiming in, do y'all like it? Is it only for the wife? Does the husband use it too? Do you both? Like, how do y'all feel about it? Do you have it? Do you not? And then I think,
do they go to the sex store?
oh, do you, what about, we might need, listen, you hear this guy in the background? Or do y'all go to sex stores? This is deep. And if you're on here, wife, and you don't even know what I'm talking about, ask your husband. He will know what we're talking about. Ask him tonight, and he will know. And if he doesn't know, he's lying.
Make it a date night.
And like my producer's saying, because he has experience with this, make it a date night. If y'all don't have toys and y'all thought about it, or you're not even having an orgasm, and maybe you do need to bring a toy, because for one, is it holy and biblical and godly? It is. It's fine. It doesn't say nothing about that. Unless, like I said, you're abusing it, right? Make it a date night. Like, okay, so me and Brandon, we've done this. Obviously, you can tell, right? So I get all sexy. He gets all handsome. Like, oh, we going out to the club, because we do. And because, mind you, some of these places check the hours. If it's the sex club, what y'all think? It's not going to close at 11 o'clock. Okay? Matter of fact, was there a 24-hour one? Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, they have some 24-hour ones on top of it, right? So hit up the 24. And I know some of us are like, oh my God, but I go to church on Sundays and I pray. Look, I just bought me a Bible purse today. I pray too. Y'all know I'm all about Jesus, Lord Almighty. He's the one, number one, everything. I get it. In the Bible, nowhere it says, do not have toys in your bedroom. You are not allowed vibrators. Like, none of that. It actually says you can have fun and be free in your bedroom with your spouse. Again, as long as it's not another person in another image, you're good. And as long as you're not abusing and hiding and all that type of stuff with your spouse. We're together, we know. Or if we're not together and he's okay with it, I think that's okay.
He travels.
You know, like if he travels and stuff, I think it's okay. Like, he knows about it. You know, he knows about it. We talk about it. Like, hey, babe, I'm about to get something wrong with. Okay. You know, my producer is on it. He's talking about the remote control panties, wives. Okay, wives. So this is where you got to pay for our program. Because we're giving you way too much information and way too much sauce. And y'all probably think we the craziest freaks Christians you've ever met. Guess what? It's okay, because we're married, we're one, we're Christians, we love it, we love God, we love each other. As a matter of fact, we even pray sometimes before we get it in. Listen, wives, have y'all done that? Ooh, my cousins. See, my cousins always gotta say some freak shit. Like, they always on the mix. Of course, and then lingerie is important because men are visual. Yes, and you know what's interesting? Listen, men are visual, wives. Some, though, depending on the anxiety levels, might not care about it for the moment. Like, my husband was the type of, I don't care about lingerie. I don't care. Just be natural, right? I popped out with like the 2022 fire outfit, and he was like, you wear this thing every weekend. I'm like, yo, you stupid. Get out of here. Ain't nobody got time for this. This is on special occasions. But then, of course, wives, we don't say that. We don't do special occasion stuff, because it's not. It's always a special occasion. But I did tell him, like, nah, it's not going to be all the time. But I do know when I need it turned up, I pop it out. And it's like more than often, right? You know, so yes, the lingerie is important too. The toys, like I said, the date night, going to the sex store, and then in some of y'all locations, in some of y'all locations, y'all might even have a sex club. Look, my producer's like, that's for the program y'all gotta pay. But look it up. I don't know what they called, but I know they exist. If the Playboy guy had a mansion with all these wives, you don't think there's a Playboy club or some kind of club? Like, look it up, Google it, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's in Connecticut. I'm from there. I don't know. But date nights, have fun with it, right? Now, the next one we're going to get into, which this is they're all interesting, is, so we talked about the orgasms, vibrators. Y'all don't like to review my stuff because I don't like missing anything and be like, oh man, I forgot to tell them that. Pray before. As a matter of fact, I've been speaking about the praying before you're with your spouse. We actually had one time, I think we mentioned this before, we were playing Pandora, and I don't know how this mix came on, and all of a sudden, it's praise and worship music. And Brandon was like, babe, should we change it? And I was like, no, praise him. And I'm over here turning up, praising Jesus, hallelujah. And it was actually very an interesting, incredible experience because it really felt, and even Brandon said this, it even really felt different, of course, but it really felt like the actual, like, you really invited the Spirit, the God, like, Lord, like, in you as one. You remember that? We gotta get back into that praise Holy Spirit thing. That was great. And it brings a whole nother connection and bond between you and your spouse. If y'all haven't tried it, ladies, definitely. I know it sounds really crazy. I will say, if you're, and this is like no shade, like I'm being like safe and for real, I love y'all. If you don't have that close relationship with God right now, you might not be understanding what I'm saying. You know, if you're like, she's crazy, ain't nobody playing no hallelujah in the bed, like, what you talking about, praise the Lord, and that's how you feel, But if that relationship is not as close, as tight, as together, as understanding, if you like, I pray, but you don't read the Bible, you might not get that effect with you and your spouse.
Say, oh my God.
You know, I'm pretty sure y'all, Brandon, you want to come join my conversation tonight? I'm pretty sure y'all be like, oh my gosh, why you getting it on? You know, so invite him, pray about that. And if it's not a comfortable set, like, you don't pray before and this and that, and you're married, you should really, like, consider, like, man, babe, how come we don't, like, pray before? Or why are we not even in the Bible? Why are we not even in the church with this, It's a big deal. It really connects you way differently. And I never understood that until I finally experienced it with Brandon. Because you just think sex is sex, marriage, not whatever. Praying, no, like, whoever thinks, like, let's pray. Hold up. Before you go down there, let's pray about this really quick. Like, what does that, right? Then the last thing I'm going to get into, I know my teeth still kind of hurt, is ladies, wives, some of y'all, I already know how y'all feeling about this. We talking about oral sex. Dun, dun, dun. And they shut down my Facebook and Instagram, right? So wives, ladies, oral sex, is it safe? Is it godly? Is it honoring? Is it sinful? Like, I'm getting deep. It's not just like, do you do it or not? Because it is what it is. You don't, you do. You have to really see where the marriage is at. Because at the end of the day, I truly believe that, and this is just me, ladies, and I'm just saying, you can ask your husbands if you want. I feel like all husbands likes to get head. Like, if that's, y'all know oral. Like, come on, like, we're not childish. We're not, oh, do you like to get head? No, I'm in my 30s, married with kids. You probably married for years with kids. Y'all should be wives on here. Yes, your husband likes to get some head. Okay, and if he tells you otherwise, he's lying. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all, ladies. And if your husband says no again, say, well, Jen and her husband, they're kind of coaching with marriages, and they've been in the game for a minute, and she talking about you lying, and you can put them on, because it will be great. We have our marriage talk. Matter of fact, tomorrow night we're talking about the importance of prioritizing sex in the marriage with my husband. So that's get him on, right? And my husband even talks about, and one of his men talk, the value and the importance of men enjoying receiving oral head and also giving it to the wives. Like, come on, stop it. If y'all not, ladies, Brandon's already shaking his head. I'm bold. God told me to be bold. Like, listen, we bold. If you on this call and you are my friend And lady wives, you do not like to get oral head from your husband. In other words, head, right? In other words, cat licking and all that stuff. There is a situation. That's a problem. I believe it. Okay? If you don't agree, then that's on you. Maybe you haven't gotten it done right. Or maybe you just don't get it at all. That's a problem.
She had a bad experience.
Or, Circle's my producer, or you had a bad experience and you're just like, oh, I don't like that, or he did a horrible job, or this and that. It goes back to the communicating with your spouse. Because remember, wives, ladies, we tend to take longer to have orgasms. So if that's the case, you can get role play with your husband, him on you, you let him have fun with you. Oral sex is part of that. Like, must have that moment in to get it pumping. If this is what you're trying to do. I'm not saying it's obligated or required or all that. I would listen. I was horrible. I used to be like, if I had applications for dating that me getting some head was on there. Requirement, must have. If you can't handle this, we just not gonna work out. And that's what it is. I'm honest about it. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean, I've heard women saying, oh, well, you must like it because his I don't know if I should curse or what should I say, his thing isn't good, right? And that's not true. There's a false myth out there that, it's also a high percentage that it is a little true, because if you look at experiences, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, there's a myth out there that says that, oh, because he gives more oral head, his thing isn't good, or I call it pipe. I'm gonna call it pipe. It's not a bad word. Pipe is just a pipe. I'm gonna call it the penis pipe, right? His pipe is not good. It's not big. It's not. He don't know how to do it, or this, or whatever they say. That's a myth. Like, there is some truth to that. If he doesn't have a certain size of the pipe that might not be great, then he might use other things like the head part to substitute for helping the orgasm, right? And all that. So I told y'all we was gonna get crazy tonight, right? And if you can't handle it, then you can't handle it. It's fine with me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm living my best life with my husband. So it is what it is. So when it comes to that, how do you feel about it? Like, how do y'all feel about, is it safe? Is it sinful? Is it godly? It says nothing bad about it in the Bible. I will say that part. So that's a big, big deal. And then, again, if you go back to Song of Psalms, it talks over that. It goes like really into detail with that and what that means. Now, one of the biggest things is for the ladies, like if there's an issue with the spouse, or if you're not feeling something, or if something feels awkward or different, if there is trauma, then of course, like, if you're like, something happened to you in your past and it's, not allowing you to, have sex or give, oral, or get it, or, whatever, then I would absolutely say, of course, communicate with your spouse, have a conversation, seek counseling, do the therapy as an individual, not only as a couple. People forget we also need individual counseling. It's not just marriage counseling. Like, individual counseling, it's a big, big deal, right? So make sure you get help, get resources. Sex should be healthy. It should be healthy. It should be a time of you and your spouse, having fun, enjoying one another. And of course, there's moments that you might do a quickie, like, okay, really quick, let's get it in, boom, let me just get it, I'm out. That's, if you don't feel like you're being used or nothing, then that's fine. But if you do, then of course, talk to your spouse. Ladies, if you feel like sometimes, oh, he just want to quickie all the time, and then he goes to sleep, or he's going out or something, or for one, I don't mind giving some quickie before he bring and go out, because you gonna be tired. Ain't nobody out there that's gonna be like, well, she turning me on. No, because you done already took the anxiety out of you. So that's not a problem. But if you do feel like it's more like an abusive thing, or if you do feel like he's just using you, then of course talk. Again, I go back to communicating with your husbands. Like, how often, and that's one of the questions I have, and I would love to, like, one of these days, I really want to set up with some wives on here. I really do, because I have questions to ask, like, how often do you communicate about sex with your spouse? That's a random question, right? I just thought about it. Like, I just literally thought about it. So how often do you randomly, or just in general, talk to your spouse about sex? Like, do y'all sit down, be like, am I pleasing you as your wife? You know, am I respecting you as your wife? Am I valuing you as your wife? Am I honoring you as your wife? Do you like certain things? Like, I know with me, ladies, I talk to Brandon all the time about this. Not like randomly sometimes during the day, but like, it could be like after we have our situation, after we have our moment, I'll ask him afterwards, like, yo, was this cool? Did you like this? Was that not? Or and then if you're introducing something new that you don't have to talk about it with them because you know that they're okay with certain things. Of course, you talk about it afterwards. Hey, so what you think about this? What you think about that? Did you like this? Did you not like that? You know, you talk to your spouse. And I will say, for those marriages that have been around for years, and I'm talking about it, and you know, I will say it doesn't have to be just married. Like, for example, me and Brandon, because I want to say 10 years or more, this has to be a deeper conversation. The thing is, me and Brandon haven't been married 10 years, but we've been together 13 years. So if you've been with your spouse more than 10, 15 years, this topic, it's a big deal. It's a big deal because you got to remember, adultery plays heavy in a man's mind. Like, it really does. Women too. I've been seeing a lot of females that have been more into the cheating game now. I think you told me that, right? I think my husband was telling me something about that. But for men, it's you know, of course, you got to understand the attachment with sex for men is different than it is for women, right? So adultery for them, they possibly do it once, twice, especially if you're withholding. If like, what if your husband likes to get oral and you don't like to do it, or vice versa? What if you like it and he don't wanna? He's just don't like it. I don't know. Now what? Do y'all talk about it? Do y'all leave it alone? Like, it's serious. It's not just, oh, I'm just not gonna do it. Oh, well, just never talk about it. Ladies, and this is how I talk to my girlfriends. Like, you really don't think he can't have somebody else? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but that's my husband. We're married, or no, he'll never, or no, and then we go to church. No. If he likes that, and I know some people are like, well, the husband shouldn't do that, and blah, blah, blah. They shouldn't do a lot of things. We shouldn't do some things, and it happens. Because the devil likes to go where we're open and easy, and that's the easy thing for a husband. If he likes, even for the wife, if you like, you know, a big thing, and that's not happening, or it's not extending, then you might go to one that is extended and be like, dang, like, I don't got that at home. Like, that's big. Like, I want to see what's up with that. It's like anything else. It looks good. It's tempting. Boom. And that's why I like to talk to my wives. Like, yo, we have to make sure that as women, we are talking to our spouse. What do you like, babe? And of course, when you talk about it, they're going to respond. And then you're going to talk back to what you like. And if you're like me, I'm open about it. So Brandon knows. I'd be like, no, we're not touching that. We're not, don't like that. No, sir. You know, and vice versa. Some stuff I be right there. Do not move from that spot. That's right there. That's it. You know. Be communicating. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. You know. Do you feel like, somebody asked, do you feel like oral sex is gross? Some women feel like oral sex is gross. And I will say, I've heard about this. I've heard that there's different cultures that think it's a nasty thing, think it's a gross thing, think they too pretty for this or something. We have to get over that. Like we do. Like, this is your husband, you just don't like it. Or I know some women that, oh, I just do it on his birthday. You know, oh, I just do it on Christmas. Oh, when we have vacation. What? Why? I personally, first of all, vacations don't be it for my husband. You would think, yo, we're in all these amazing places. Let's get it in. Let's get master freaks or something. Let's jump hoops or something. My husband be like, I'm straight. He is more comfortable at home. And I'd be so mad. I'm like, yo, look at this view. We could be turned up right now. I will say the Maldives did change the game for him, though. I will say that one. That was it. But what you gonna do when you on an over-the-water bungalow and all you see is just the Indian Ocean and we got a private pool? I was like, oh, no one can see us. We have a whole privacy wall. Oh, we about to be skinny dipping. We about to get it in. If the baby wasn't made there, I don't know where it's going to be made because, that was crazy. Hey, girl, you here? I see you. You said what, babe? Because remember, your body is my body. My body is his body. Yeah, gotta get it. You gotta get it in. It's a nice view, too. And then you wake up in the morning. Y'all saw my morning pictures and videos and from the bed, the pool and the ocean. What? Dude, let me hop on it real quick. The view, And then, and then Cabos. We went to Cabos, guys. We went to Los Cabos a couple years ago. We went to the Rue. And if y'all have never been to a Rue, make sure you try a Rue with your spouse. I promise y'all. Like, especially the Cabos one. We did a Mexico one too, but because of COVID, they didn't do the party. But Rue does day parties. Do y'all hear me? Like we're going back. Like we literally have been looking since that one time to go back, but the flights to Cabos have been retarded. Like it doesn't even make sense to try to go to Cabos right now. But when I find that flight to Cabos, we're out. They have day parties at the Ruse. Make sure you look. It says all day party. Ladies, take your husbands. They're not even that expensive. Like they're reasonable. Like less than $1,000 for you and your husband for 5 days. All inclusive, top drinks, open bar, all day, every day. We went to this, it was an all day, and every day had different events, right? So it was like white party one day, animal party the next day, the animal print. So I'm going to put it up and you're going to see, I'm going to put some pictures up. And we matched the white, the prints. Then there was a neon, which is all type of parties. We went to this day party. Do y'all understand? It's an all-inclusive. So we started from the beach in the morning by the pool, like around 12 o'clock. We started with our mimosas, and he likes to Brandon likes to get me turned early. Like, here goes mimosas, babe. I'm like, okay, sure. No kids, turn up. So we had the mimosas. Then we went to the pool, turned up a little bit. Then were we already dressed? No. Went back to the room, right? Got dressed. Went back to the room, got dressed. It was at like 4 o'clock, right? It was retarded. We went, this day party was so wild. It was, I don't even remember how we got to the room. Like, we had a blast. Make sure, wives, you book one of these trips with your spouse that you just go, no kids, relax. You turn up. Like, you're not pregnant. You're not about to be pregnant. You just all the way you can possibly get pregnant, but it was just incredible. So that just goes back into, I don't know how I got into that conversation, but we were talking about the oral sex. Is it gross? Does it please your spouse? Is it required? Do you have trauma? Talk to somebody. If it's harmful, talk to somebody, talk to your spouse. But I'm really big on this conversation being so important when it comes to your spouse, and people don't talk about it. Like, I know wives and husbands that don't talk about the value and importance of being intimate and communicating with the simple fact of little as like oral sex and toys. Like, imagine wives, especially for the ladies on here, you just not talking to your husband, you're not communicating, you're not letting him know he's on nothing. But then he goes to Maria up the road, and I'm gonna use Maria because he's gonna be there with a Latina, okay? He goes to Maria, and adultery, bam, and you mad because he done went with Maria, Lupita, whatever her name is, and she's turned up. She got the whips, the toys, the vibrator. She done pulled out the cuffs. Y'all know what I'm talking about, wives? And you sitting back mad like, why he went over there? Why he with her? She done turned him out, and you boring at home. Like, let me go with my granny hat and my long granny pajamas. No, y'all better be sleeping naked too. We're not going there, ladies. Y'all better be natural. You never know when the moment he could just turn over, bam. Ready. Like I'm saying, you gotta have fun. Like, this is marriage. Like, this is your spouse. Like, and if you're not married, I see some of our friends hopping on. If you're not married, talk about these things. Talk about the value of God in your marriage, in your sex, in your bedroom. Talk about the value of being real. Like, yo, I like to get some head all the time. Boom. That's what I like. You cool with that? You're not? Okay, well, let's talk about it, because if not, I don't want to have sex problems. And then we're going to have adultery in the future, and then a divorce. So now we cutting all that out the way. We're talking about it pre-marriage. Discuss these things. You don't want to be all lovey-dovey, get married, and you mad because, you know, the wife is not doing something, or the husband's not doing something, but you never discussed it. Especially, you know, for my Christians, some things you don't do anyways until marriage, but you can still talk about it. You know, so it's a big deal. If y'all have any questions, I see some people chiming in. Y'all like to get on late. I'm about to start doing a 10 o'clock or something, because y'all like to get on late and talk late. Like, I'm already drinking and getting hot over here. Anything y'all feeling when it comes to, like, oral sex, orgasms, thoughts on grooming? No, I'm not that hot. So, what do you think, girl? I got Clarissa in the building. She helping me. Hey guys, she gonna be mad 'cause I'm drinking this margarita, because I'm not supposed to be. This is probably a lot of carbs and sugar, ain't it, girl? Hey, I did good today though. I did good. I had a good little snack, dessert. Didn't have no rice. You know how bad I wanted some rice today? I'm working on it. She said, I see it. At least I told you. I don't hide from my people, especially if I had a trainer. I would tell my personal trainer, like, man, I'm not coming. I just had a whole pizza, dude. It don't even make no sense for me to show up. So, but anyways, any questions, comments, concerns? Tomorrow night. Ooh, let me tell you about that so I can get off. Tomorrow night. We're talking about, as a marriage, like I'm already doing, how will you prioritize sex in your marriage? And now you're probably wondering, like, why do they keep talking about sex these last 2 days? Because sex is one of the top 5 reasons marriages fail. And we're going to talk about it. Because the point of my husband and I are to empower, to uplift, to grow, to encourage, to bring together marriages. It's talking about the problems marriages have. Does that make sense? Like, the main ones. Money. One of the top 5 reasons why divorces happen. Money, finances. Right? Sex, intimacy, adultery. Communication. That's going to be another topic. Another one was truth is more like communication. Another one was yeah, like the honoring your spouse. That was a big one too. It's the top ones that I see on there. And since I was talking about wives and sex, tomorrow, and we have a book that we're gonna announce. Wives, get your husbands on tomorrow. We're gonna announce this amazing book that, well, my husband's idea, he told me his idea of a type of book he wanted us to read. And I was like, it's just sex. Like, you want to read about sex? And he's like, yeah, in the marriage and the biblical strategies and background and the importance and the value. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. So y'all know me. Google is my best friend. Marriages, sex, books. And we came with some amazing, it was a whole bunch of good books. So we picked one. It's coming in the mail tomorrow so we can show y'all. And we're going to start Monday. Brandon wants to start Monday. So Amazon tomorrow. Be your best friend. If it's not at Barnes & Noble. check it out. We're going to tell you tomorrow. It's going to be so good. We're going to get back on here. We want to do, is it going to be once a week? Something like that. We're going to talk about that. Reading this book together. It's so good. And the reason why we chose this book too, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow, is because it's a book to read with your spouse. So wives on here, ladies, if one of your 5 languages is quality time, this book project or book club that we're going to start is amazing for you to carve out every day 15 to 30 minutes to read this book with your spouse and come on here with us. We can interact. We can even get some of y'all on here with us. We could talk about it. And then May 15th, we're launching our marriage empowerment program. Y'all can hop on over there and be private. And of course, different, fees and programs and things are going to be with that, right? But it starts with something, right? I think we saw everything we didn't want in our marriage, that we made it a priority to change our normal in our marriage. Yeah, so that's another big deal when you see certain marriages that you want to portray or you want to, role model. You see a role model, like a marriage that's like, man, that's cool. Like, they have God. They, they do money together. They do business. They talk about their health and all this stuff. You see that? You want that. You're not like, you see a couple that's like never spending time with his wife, never taking her out. She's not ever giving him head. It's like he's always mad, like sexual. And then it's the thing, sexual. What's that word? Tension is real. Like it's real. Like ladies, wives, I'm gonna need y'all. If you are that wife that you're on here, like I don't like to give my husband some head. I don't like any toy. I'm just like sex is whack. Like. That's a lot of tension. That's a big deal. We're going to get it. Come on tomorrow to talk about this book we're going to read. And it starts on Monday, so you can order it. So if you are that wife that you are struggling with pleasing your husband, or if wives, you're on here and you're just like, I'm not feeling certain things. Or if your husband is like not understanding of something, let's get him on. Let's chime in. Like this is a community. Let's come together. You gotta love what you do. Exactly. She said it's real. You gotta love to do it. Yeah, you do. And there comes a point in your marriage, and Brandon knows about this. There comes a point in your marriage when you love to outserve your spouse. And Brandon talked about this before. You love to outserve your spouse, that you're outserving them in all areas. Because come on. And then I'm done, because this is like really deep. Like, think about it. Ladies, who really wants to have other things in your mouth besides food? Right? Like, that don't even sound cute. But because you want to please your husband, because it makes you feel good, that he's feeling good, and some of y'all might get turned on that he's feeling good. I tell Brandon, I'd be like, oh, you like that? Oh, I like it even better. Like, let's get it popping. It helps me out. Helps, I get to get my anxiety going, so then he could just bam, and then we come together and pop it. And it's like, damn, we meant to be, man. You my husband? Yeah, that's my husband. So and that's the thing, ladies. And then I'm really gonna get off, because I gotta go. If you not, and then if you answer no, come on here tomorrow, for real. Like on the chat. Not the other right? Come on the chat. If you don't, after you done being intimate with your spouse, let's say 9 out of 10 times, maybe 8. If you're not saying and looking at your spouse, damn, that shit's fire, dog. Like, that's me. You really married? Like, cause me and Brandon, let me tell y'all, and this is real deep, cause Brandon be like, really, babe? Me, like, Brandon and I, like, we're so funny. Like, we'll look at each other and be like, yo, we really married. Like, we just made a whole movie. We should have been paid for that. Like, that was fire. Like, if you don't have that connection and that moment and that mode and that energy,
you don't go to sleep with a smile.
At least 8 to 9 times out of 10, hit my DM privately because we gotta talk. And this one's even better. If you don't see your spouse sleeping like this, you done messed up the game. You messed up. If listen, wives, if your husband don't be just happy, smiling, let me go get a dessert. I just want a dessert. Like, you just had dessert. You want some more? I'll give you some more, right? But then we have to work on it, wives. And I'm so serious about it. 13 years later, I'm still serious about it. Actually, we got more serious about it now than we were. Even though we was young and it was wild and stuff, marriage and the anointing and the spirit and our love and our connection and our bond has beyond exploded from the wild. Before, it was just, we wasn't married, no kids. We was just wild and young turning up. He was wild and young turning up with many others. Okay? Let's get real. I was doing my thing too. It never came to this, right? And now we're married. We are committed. We are just one, right? We're not in the streets, nothing like that. So listen, guys, that's really much it. It was deep tonight. If y'all like it, put some hearts or something. Let's keep talking about it tomorrow night. What time? 7 o'clock? 8 o'clock? I think it's at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. I'm going to put the flyer up. We're going to disclose our book, and it's gonna be so good. And then on Monday, my producer, tomorrow my producer's gonna be right here because he's been over there, whispering some 18 different comments tonight. Oh, y'all heard him too. Did my margarita. It's been great. And then if you are open to getting on our live with us, even if it's just as a wife or as a married couple, let us know. Like, I would love to get some of y'all on here and just get some insight. And we'll talk about what you're comfortable with. Like, if you're not comfortable with talking about you give your husband head, then that's fine. Like, we don't gotta talk about that. Like, we're not saying, like, we're gonna just specifically talk about that, right? But certain things you want to be open about. Or if you're or if you're that wife that you're like, I want to go on there because giving head is nasty, horrible, sinful, crime, that's not you, it's not your thing, your marriage is great, but you don't still do it. Cool, let's get you on, wives. Or if your husband is like, nah, I don't like it, I don't want it, let's get him on. Like, this is open to uplift all marriages. I'm not, like, trying to be funny. Like, this is just being honest, being raw, pure, open, like our shirt says, pure and open. We're navigating through this, we're doing all that. Go to our page, direct.me/Barker Worldwide, and tap in, and then you can see our program empowerment coming up in May. We'll be on tomorrow night with the book. I'm excited. So y'all get ready to either go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon. Where's my music? Oh, it's right here. Oh, how you do it? What you gotta do? Whoops a daisy. Anyways, all right. Thank y'all for getting on. How y'all feeling tonight? That was good. I'm glad y'all was able to get on. Glad y'all was listening. Commented. Spoke. Remember, I don't own the rights to this song. Y'all need to remember that.